Hey Internet people. This video is going to build off the patch that Emily Hopkins and I made in our last video together, where we took her harp and we plugged it into our modular synths and made it so that the bass strings trigger sound events that are different from what is happening when we process her harp through effects, let's say through reverb or delay or something like that. These sound events are controlled by the volume and the rhythm of the plucked strings through what are called envelope followers and gates. And if you haven't seen the video, I'll link it in the description below. In this video, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth to see if we can't design a patch that would be useful to guitar players who maybe don't have a ton of pickup outs or the board brain injector or the Dope input modules. I'm going to do a quick overview of the signal chain, then I'll go more in depth, so feel free to skip around if you like. I will be running my guitar through my pedal board, but I'm going to go ahead and steal some audio from the stereo jack of this TC Electronic flashback. And you can pretty much do this from any stereo pedal. Just go ahead and take the second jack and we'll steal some audio from there. All right, here's the short version. I took a 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch adapter cable from the TC Electronic flashback. And now on the 1/8 inch side, I'm taking it and putting it into the trigger of the Maths first channel. We'll be using the unity output as our envelope follower and our end of rise as our gate. Now we're going to choose any VCO we want to use, and we're going to take the unity out of the Maths Ch.1 and we're going to use this for our envelope. Use a quantizer to control the pitch of your oscillator in the key that you're playing your guitar in.
I'm adding sample and hold to get random pitch values. And a gate from Maths so the quantizer knows when to grab a note to play in tandem.
You can mult or double the amount of gates and envelope followers you have by splitting, and then also the pitches you have going on from your quantizer. And this way you can add additional events to your play, and then you have something like this. Notice how the notes of the synthesizer are completely unrelated to the notes of the guitar. They're playing randomly, but in key. Now, some of you may have gotten that, but in case if there's a few of you out there who haven't, I'll go through the patch again slower and kind of give more detail. So as I mentioned, to create our envelope followers and gates, we're going to take our audio stolen from the TC Electronic flashback, and we're going to put it into the input mode of channel 1 of Maths. The rise or attack is all the way counterclockwise, and the fall is all the way clockwise, and that's the decay. And that's just for now. We're going to dial it in later. We're going to hold off plugging in the envelope followers and gates for a minute. For now, let's choose your VCO. I'm going with Plaits by Mutable Instruments. I'll send the out from Plaits into some kind of reverb. I'm going to use Milky Way by Endorphin.es, and then put that into your VCA. Now take your unity out from your Maths channel 1 and put it into that VCA, because it is what's going to control the opening and closing of the VCA. Now the envelope should follow the rise and fall of the guitar's audio signal. But you can shorten that up a bit by taking the fall or decay time down a bit. A note regarding amplitude, some guitar setups won't give us enough volume to really give us a great envelope follower, so we're going to go ahead and move things along a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and use the Phonogene. The Phonogene has a boost right here. If all else fails, we can go ahead and mult the gate coming out of the Maths, and then go ahead and use a true ADSR for our envelope generator. Next, we're going to need a quantizer of some kind and a sample and hold. It really doesn't matter which one, but I'm using the Intellijel scales and the Make Noise Wogglebug. Now go ahead and take the sample and hold out, the Wogglebug, and put it into channel 2 of Maths. This way we can use channel 2's attenuverter, and this will tamp down the range in which the pitches will fall. So you're not hitting all the highest, most harsh pitches. You're kind of taming it a little bit. All right, you take the output of channel 2 of Maths and you put it over here into the pitch of your Intellijel scales. Now tune your quantizer to the key in which your guitar is going to be playing. In my case, this is going to be the key of G. And then take a cable out of your scales and put it into the volt per octave of your VCO, which in my case is Plaits. So that gives us. I've decided to double up on these sound events. So I'm going to take the pitch from the scales and mult it. And go ahead and put that into rings. And we're going to go ahead and do some muted rhythmic sounds with it. We'll see what happens. But we got to take this, of course, and put it into clouds. So now, go ahead and take a mult from the Maths gates that we were producing. Go ahead and mult that and have one go all over here to the trigger of the scales. Now, of course, you could also do this by going into the strum of the rings itself or find some other kind of way to control the amount of oscillation that gets through, but that's something that you can figure out. I find it easiest just to use the trigger on the scales. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this second gate and put it up here into the freeze function of clouds. As the strings resonate, a gate is produced, which then freezes the cloud's reed head, allowing for those sprawling clouds reverbs. All right, I have self-patched the øchd so that we get an awesome wiggle I like. Then I'm going to take one LFO from the øchd and go ahead and put into the brightness. And then I'll take another one and we'll put that into the timbre of the Plaits. And that will give us our patch. Back on our pedal board, I'm going to go ahead and use the Red Panda particle and the Earthquaker devices underneath for effects on my guitar. Remember to palm mute between chords. So that's all, but I hope that was a really good explanation for how we're kind of splitting up both the sound of the audio wave and then also the kind of other kinds of mechanical things you can do with that waveform. Please join us again. I'll see you around.